This one is a 2002, so I did cut. It's a passenger seat, the same for the driver's seat. So it does have a hole in here. You will feel, if you depress, you will feel that hole. But this hole is not where you have to press to release the headrest. It's just a bar, a metal bar in there, plastic piece. There's nothing to depress in there. I tried with everything, pushed. Trust me, there's no knob in there. The releasing button, if I can say so, is here as well. So let's see how it looks. It's really right under the rods from the headrest, but it's really deep in there. It's very low, almost to the bottom here. And you have under the skin this small tab here which goes inside, and inside, if I just pull it out, there is a second tab, this one, and this is the lock of the rods from the headrest. If I move here, just try, I will feel, I depress it and I will feel when it locks. You won't hear the click, but there is a click here, definitely. So this guy has to be depressed and very deep. It really has to go deep in there, just like that. That's really almost 1 inch. Just push all the way. Now there's a trick with this, is when you feel it, you won't really, it doesn't really feel like anything. Yeah, it feels like small holes in here. Yeah, kind of, because you notice how it is, it has kind of small holes. But this piece, if you've never released the headrest, actually it's attached here. The plastic is just attached, so you have first to press on it to break this link here. But this one is not broken yet. Let me just show you what it is. It's still attached in there, so you have first to press on it to break it loose. Let me try. Just like that. Now you broke it loose, and then you have to press it all the way in to release that white lever. So all the way, but you really need to, maybe grab a 3/8 extension and push against it really deep. And you definitely, I would strongly advise you to get a helper, because even when these tabs are fully released, and even when the rod it's unlocked at the bottom, it has just a small hole at the bottom which locks in there. Even then, if both are, you have to do both at the same time and keep depressed and pull the headrest. So someone has to keep this strongly depressed and a second person needs to lift it. And even when these two are unlocked and keep unlocked, the rod here will slide really hard. Very difficult to slide, because the rod actually is bent like this, and it just goes just like that at an angle. It's really awkward. It's really hard to pull this thing from there. If you are alone, maybe try to insert a bar here or something, but definitely not easy to do. This is 2002. Let me check it, 2003 and 2004, and I believe perhaps the 2001 will be the same as this one. I've got here a 2004. It's exactly the same mechanism. 2004 has a completely different rail, seat altogether is totally different. The way the cushion, it looks the same as 2001 to 3, but the cushion is completely different. You just cannot swap them. And the rails also have the bolt upside here, a different rail altogether. This again is the lower trim, but the way the headrests detach are just like on 2002 one. Now this one, it's a 2005, again the lower trim, and a very rare for Canada clothed seats. Notice the rail again, this is the 2004 and up seat. But in 2005 Volvo finally got the things better. So 2004 wasn't like this, 2005 is different. Just follow the road. The road is pretty much in the middle here. So follow the road all the way, almost here. This is you notice where the trim finished, just right there. It's maybe 1-2 inches. Just press inside, you'll hear a click. Just right again. but you definitely feel like it unlocks something. Same on the other side. Oh, this one is louder, you notice? So definitely you feel it. Again, it's really about, I'd say, 2 inches like this and 2 inches like that. Just there, feels like a bump. There's more area to depress, but it's really like you feel like you're pressing on something here. And definitely hear that noise. Again, you need to keep them depressed. One person keeps them depressed, the other person is pulling this with really a lot of force. Really maybe insert a bar, pry bar, lift it. Not that easy, but it's easier on 2005 and up. Another 2004. So the button is right here underneath the road, all the way down. But sometimes you will hear a click, but these are terrible to depress, keep depressed, and it's sometimes extremely difficult to have this road slide out even with the button depressed. And just perhaps keep in mind that sometimes perhaps that mechanism is just not working there. You may find one that you depress it as it should and it doesn't release that rod here. So that's unfortunately what may happen. But the good news is that I'm in a XC70 2004, and I noticed it has this optional child booster seat on both sides. I'm sitting really on one of them. Wow, this is really impressive. So it just slides like this. Hold on a sec. Just like that, and it locks in place nicely, and you can have your kids seated there, and then you release it with this tab here, lever. It's up, more or less, but really impressed. Very nice feature. You see, this 2003 worked like a breeze, and is really, I can really feel it when I press in here again. It's slightly to the left. The rod is there, and I do depress. Let me just feel it again here. So it's not exactly under the rod, it's just slightly towards the center, and it's like 2 inches from the where the trim ends. Just right there is the button, and I can really feel when I depress. It really does something in there. Same the other side, and when it starts to slide out again, this one was really easy to remove, but most of them are not. We just stop the video a sec. This is why it's difficult to undo, is because it has a bend in here, and that bend just grabs inside the hole. That's why it doesn't really slide even when it's unlocked, and that's how it locks at the bottom. Notice that small hole, small dent in there. Don't forget to insert them nicely and to lock them in place. You notice when I insert it, it's not easy. It just doesn't want to go in there. Make sure they are secure in place. If you wonder about the rear headrests, so this is the rear seats. Headrest is flipped, and we can see inside this small cover goes like this. You can detach it, and you can see the solenoid. Sometimes it goes bad. This is the the button of on the front of the car that should just release it to flip the headrest. This is the hinge of the headrest, which locks. That metal part locks when you put back the headrest upright position. Sometimes I think it gets stuck in there, but the thing is that I really don't know how to access this. I did rip it off at the junkyard. It kind of looks like it has a zip here, but I don't know where it starts actually. So it doesn't start there, so perhaps you'll have to cut a little bit, and if you cut this piece here, you still won't have access because there's like a steel rod. So basically you'll need to cut the upper trim here, I guess the leather, So that's how they'll that lock sits in there. Soleno, it seems to have kind of metal clips on it. Not sure how it's secured in there. It's really not obvious how to access that place.